Steelers Sunday Live.
Oh my goodness! It's time! Al, it's time. It's championship time. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Boy, the pressure is on. It's my first jaunt into the Sunday Live chair, and they saved championship week for me.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, I like the I got a tweet this morning. It says, sheesh, sounds like a lot of pressure for y'all in championship week. 100% would hate to be in your shoes. But we're here. First of all, you're here. You're here because you're in a championship game. I don't think you're watching this if you just got knocked out. I just got knocked out. I wouldn't be watching this. How about you, Al? Would you be tuning in for some just cursory what ifs?
Nah, I don't love pain that much.
I know my comrade Jason Moore is tilting beyond measure this morning. He is searching for data points that is, you know, all you can do is try to find an edge in Week 17. And Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you for joining me on Sunday Live. I don't have your answer because I, despite speaking to the spirits as have happened a few times this year, I don't know what's going to happen today, but I do know that we have all of the information that we need to get you ready for today. And you can take those data points like Jason is searching for, and you can make an educated decision, and that's all we can do. All we can do is make the best decision possible before these games kick off in about an hour, and that's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to do. I see the chat is my favorite question in here, Al, and we'll get to the questions. My favorite one is the one that said, star, 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 all caps. Think about this one, star, 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 then the question, which I hadn't been asked to think about these before.
Can't just fire off any answer.
No willy-nilly, but there's a lot going on. We have more questions about Week 17 than I think fantasy players would like. It's not just injuries. Now, I can't imagine what Week 17 would be like if we had the weather situation we had last week. Because we've already got questions about playing time. We've got questions about motivation, which teams are going for it, injuries, defensive injuries that are going to affect players. And what I've seen a lot of this morning on the Twitter sphere is certain decisions becoming uncertain. People that had their lineups set to go, then you find out like a Chris Olave's active, and then you start to second-guess your DJ Chark. And so
or a Christian Watson, if he starts, he might only be playing third downs or something like that.
Yeah, and then what does that mean for Alan Lazard or Romeo Dobbs? And so the tilt becomes more real. Like this time last year, this exact moment last year, I was in a championship game, and I was in a car driving to Disneyland with my family in the championship game. And I can still remember being on the I-10, Al, and I'm sitting there with my autopilot on, checking my flex positions to decide between Jarrett Patterson, Boston Scott, or Cordero Patterson. And I made the wrong choice. But I remember the tilt. It went right up to kickoff, and luckily I had Mickey Mouse to distract me from defeat by 5 points. But it comes down to the wire. And you'll have second guessing, but you're here. That's the big thing. You had a great season. One person wins. You had a great year. Let's get into it.
The big picture.
All right, like I said, a lot going on. We have our inactives. We have the reports. We're going to go through them right now and talk through some of the big storylines, the things you're paying attention to today that you're worried about. Trevor Lawrence is playing. We expected that. No Lamar Jackson. No Jalen Hurts. There's some talk today that he might be available for Week 18 if it doesn't go right against the Saints today for Gardner and the Eagles. But Gardner's your starter. And the Saints are getting back Marshawn Lattimore, but this is still a very it's a plus matchup. It's an opportunity for them to clinch the 1 seed. Gardner was great last week. If that was your pivot, it's your pivot. I mean, you're playing Gardner, and you're hoping that the power of the Eagles, the rest of the team, right? The wide receivers, the elite options, the running game, the defense puts Gardner in a position to give you fantasy opportunities. Colt McCoy's out in Arizona. Don't forget, this is not Colt McCoy This is not DeAndre Hopkins week. This is David Blau. Because it's week 17, so it has to be, right? This is the Blau and the Dortch. That's your summary of the Cardinals season. Tua, he's out. And we don't know if he's coming back this year. The concussion, the symptoms, multiple this year, it's an issue. But you're not going to have Tua throwing the football to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. You have to hope that talent wins. And that's what's happened with Tyreek. Teddy Bridgewater's capable. It could be worse. He could be David Blau. Okay? Running back situations, there's a lot of them. Ramondre Stevenson is in. Damian Harris is in. He had missed a practice. He didn't really miss it. It wasn't injury related. He's off the injury report. Ramondre, fumble. This has been a problem. And so if you have doubt, I have doubt. Ramondre is probably in your lineup. But how often do they use Damian Harris? I don't know. We haven't seen him in a while. And those high leverage situations, Miami's missing some defensive pieces. I think both are going to be involved. Ramondre's had the trouble, and you hope that this team still has confidence in him. The passing game work hasn't been there. The confidence in the play calling hasn't been there. But look, if you've rode with Ramondre, you probably don't have a better pivot. And we'll go through some of the most popular start sits in a little bit. And Ramondre is going to end up in some of those. Damian Harris is going to end up in some of those, and we'll answer your questions here on Sunday Live as well. And I promise I'll think about those questions. But that's your situation there. Dare Ogunbowale in for Houston. Kenneth Walker's going to play. The situation right now in Detroit, Justin Jackson's inactive. Jamal Williams is active. DeAndre Swift is active. And Craig Reynolds is still active. So that situation is kind of a mess. Counting on DeAndre Swift, that's not been a thing you can do this year. Jamal Williams has a chance for a touchdown in this one against Chicago. You know, it's tough going with Swift. You hope he gets the PPR work. He had been very reliable in those targets, but he's a risky play. The matchup's good. You hope they use him. The other situation at running back I want to touch on right here is the Aaron Jones one in Green Bay. Aaron Jones, if you look at the news coming out of Green Bay, he's off the injury report. He's active. I'm quoting here, so this is not my turn of phrase, okay? Aaron Jones's quote, Al, you got to suck some things up, okay? So he's going to play, but he's been dealing with a knee injury and some ankle problems for a month. So this is a pain-tolerant situation for him, and they're going to run the ball a lot. They want to run the ball. A.J. Dillon's going to get a ton of work. He's a good play this week. Aaron Jones, you got to suck some things up, as he said, and he's going to get some magic juice to try to do that, right? The team and the medical staff, they're going to try to get him as prepared as possible to contribute in this game. It's all about your options. We'll get into it. Wide receivers. Chris Olave is back into the lineup. I think he's a good play this week. I think he's a good play. Right back in there with Andy Dalton, but you just expect volume for Chris Olave, and you got to put him back in, and we'll get through some start sits there. You know, if you're looking at like flex position, one of the tight ends, right, like Njoku, you got to play Olave. I think he's going to be okay. Jerry Jeudy is in. Chase Claypool, back in. Who cares? Tyquan Thornton, he's in. Devontae Parker's out. Who cares? I'm not playing Tyquan Thornton. DeAndre Hopkins, he's out. This has implications for the Dortch. McCole Hardman, out. Deebo Samuel not playing. Here are your tough ones. Tyler Lockett is expected to play as an afternoon game. He's Tyler Lockett. Of course we're going to be in Week 17 doubting Tyler Lockett because we were in the offseason doubting Tyler Lockett the past 5 years. He's a great player. He's a third down guy. It's a big game. Seattle trying to stay in it. Tyler Lockett is jumping ahead of a lot of players this week. You just have to roll with him. And then the most difficult one. And by the way, Jacoby Myers. I really like Jacoby Myers' opportunity this week with Devontae Parker out and with the injuries on the Miami side of the football. Christian Watson, game time decision. Good golly, Miss Molly. That's my quote. That wasn't Aaron Jones. Christian Watson, game time decision, afternoon game. Love Allen Lazard regardless of what happens with Christian Watson. So lock Lazard into your lineup. He's my start of the week, and I expect him to be very involved regardless. News this morning, Jamie Eisenberg, friend of the show, talking about the fact that Christian Watson could only play third downs if he's active. He's going to be testing it out before the game. I don't have the confidence level with a healthy Romeo Doubs, with a healthy Randall Cobb, with Alan Lazard. I don't think I could go to Christian Watson this afternoon with the doubts, Al. I mean, you're the Green Bay guy. Are you with me, or would you ride that man?
Depends on your options, but I think I lean towards what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think it always depends on what you have. But like, if I had Lazard, of course I'm playing Lazard.
What about like a Donovan Peoples-Jones? I know that's a decision Jason's kind of toying with.
I would play Peoples-Jones. Yeah, I would. I think the passing game for Cleveland is going to be better than advertised this week. Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think that Washington's missing their top 2 corners this week, and so they've been a pretty formidable pass defense. But, yeah, I mean, that game is that's an afternoon game. No, sorry, that's a morning game. Washington's favored by 2.5. Yeah, I'd probably play Peoples-Jones. The risk with Watson is it's really extreme. It's a bury you type of risk. I mean, this is a player that at times playing a full allotment of snaps, he's having to do it on 6 opportunities. So it's really scary. And the fact that it's an afternoon game makes it even scarier. So if Jason's listening, I'm sorry. You want Watson, but can't always get what you want. And then tight ends, Hayden Hurst is back. Hunter Henry back. Johnny Smith is out. Tyler Higbee expected to play. And Greg D's on IR, so we're not worrying about that. I think that's the big picture situation. Do you have anything else that's popped up?
No, I think you covered it.
Sometimes I feel like on Sunday Live here, and I give Mike a lot of credit. He's done a great job this year. He's brought a lot of insight every single Sunday morning, and a lot of it has proved very advantageous for your team. It's hard for me to do it and not be scouring Twitter. So, I mean, there's news and information that is always breaking. And I'm trying to pay attention to it while I'm on here with you. A lot of big decisions to be made. And, the rankings, believe it or not, every time I say something out of my mouth, my rankings don't change. Like, the rankings are really to set you up for Sunday morning. And then, Sunday morning when you got that lineup, you're paying attention to the information here on Sunday Live, what's coming through on Twitter. If you have a conviction about a certain player, I'd say you go for it. Go for that conviction with the information you have, because go down with your guy. Don't go down with somebody else's guy. You're going to lose a championship. Do it based on the players that you want to play, not some arbitrary ranking system that doesn't get updated every 2 seconds, right? Like, that's just not possible with the information. Things are happening so quickly. They're really to lay the foundation for your week, and then you make those final decisions with the information you have on a Christian Watson in the afternoon. So it's time to look at what people are freaking out about.
He's so hot right now.
Well, we're going to get into it with the most popular start-sit questions. The best part of this, Al, is that I kind of wish that after that drop, I had just been gone. There's just no one in the chair. It just sits here for 30 minutes.
That'd be real awkward for me.
That'd be, I guess for you. What would you do?
I would do my best for the people, but
you'd be like,
let me type this into the start-sit tool real quick.
Yeah, Andy, I can hear his car peeling out.
All right, so we're going to start at the quarterback position, which we don't normally do, but the 3 most popular questions on the website right now all involve Minshew mania.
Oh, gosh.
So we'll start with him. Gardner Minshew versus New Orleans, or Brock Purdy at Las Vegas?
Yeah, this is a good question. Brock Purdy was, I believe, Mike's stream of the week this week. When I think about starting Brock Purdy, I think about, do I get 202? Am I going to get that connection to Greg Kittle, which has been there for a couple of weeks? Am I going to get a screen pass to Christian McCaffrey that he houses, or a check down inside the 20 where he brings it into the end zone? The defense going against Jarrett Stidham. Like, your recipe right now, the 49ers are playing for the playoffs. And so, does that mean Christian McCaffrey gets managed a little in this game? How much damage can Brock Purdy do in the first 2-3 quarters of this game? I think I would be going for Gardner Minshew with what's on the line for Philadelphia and those weapons. No Debo. I lean the Minshew side. I know that New Orleans is getting Lattimore back. It's it's not Jalen Hurts, but I lean Minshew.
What about Minshew or Mike White?
Minshew or Mike White? That's a tough one. What's the current line in the Jets game this morning? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Jets are 1.5-point favorites in Seattle. I certainly like Mike White, the amount of plays that they're running. I'm going to stick with Philly, though. I'm going to stick with Minshew.
Okay. And the last one, Justin Fields or Gardner Minshew?
That's a Justin Fields.
Okay. I figured you were going to go there, but I saw that in the chat a couple
times.
Yeah,
the Justin Fields situation was kind of like a slow burn this week with his injuries and wondering if he'd be active, but you play him. And do we have right now in the production channel, Jason has decided to hijack it for his own questions.
Yeah, he's got a 5-player choose one question for you.
All data points, right? Dobbs, Dortch, DJP, or Boyd for the
DPJ.
Oh, DPJ, yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yep.
I don't think I want to play Boyd, even though that game is amazing. Dobbs would only be with an inactive Christian Watson. I love the Dortch. I just have we never seen Blau. Like, this situation set up in Arizona where if it was Colt McCoy and Hopkins is out, I'd play the Dortch. He would be the winner of this. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I mean, goodness gracious, the Voldemort is still a risk. There are no locks in this list, Jason. And then Curtis Samuel. I mean, Curtis Samuel's 1 of 3. If you get the touchdown that week and it's not Dotson or McLaurin, you're great. And you have no Antonio Gibson. Jarrett Patterson, of last year's hero for Washington, is now the running back behind Brian Robinson today. But it's really Curtis Samuel, kind of. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one. I might make Jason wait.
All right. Well, you transitioned us well anyway, because a lot of people asking about Jahan Dotson. So would you start Jahan Dotson or Zay Jones?
Jason just said kill me. Jahan Dotson or Zay Jones. Jacksonville against Houston. 3.5-point favorites. Zay Jones. I feel a lot safer with a PPR floor for Zay Jones than I do Jahan Dotson. Dotson's on fire right now. I feel more confident in his opportunity for a touchdown. So I think that the bigger total performance is probably coming Jahan Dotson's way, but I would play Zay Jones.
All right. What about Alan Lazard or Gabe Davis?
Lazard, locked in for me. I think it's a huge game for him. He's getting targeted down the field. Points are going to be put up in this one. I would play Lazard.
All right. And then we'll go to Tyler Lockett or Marquise Brown.
This rolls back to the David Blau situation in Arizona where, I mean, it could be, David Blau, if you remember the Thanksgiving Day game where he first 3 plays of the game, he drops a 70-something yard touchdown to Kenny Golladay. What I like about David Blau is he's gonna throw the ball a little bit, right? Like Trace McSorley, that was a little more worrisome. He was not capable, but I don't have enough confidence in Hollywood Brown and what Arizona's offense is going to be able to do this week. So I guess I would go Lockett there.
All right, and last one at the wide receiver position. Are you going Michael Pittman or
Never.
DJ Chark?
I'm going DJ Chark. Yeah, I'm going DJ Chark. Michael Pittman's ceiling is like a Hobbit house. You ever seen those? Lord of the Rings? You probably never seen that movie.
I've seen the previews.
You've seen the previews. You should check it out. Came out about 25 years ago. But no, this ceiling is not for there's not a lot of upside with Nick Foles and the 6.5 yards per catch he's been getting. So no, I think I'd go Chark and I'd try to take the win, Al. I want to take it. I want to take it in week 17. I don't want to just like survive. Because if you just play all low ceiling players in week 17, you're trying to survive. You're trying to avoid your opponent starting Donovan Peoples-Jones and having that big play, and you're just hoping. I want to take it, and I think that's what Chark represents. That's what Dotson represents this week.
All right, let's move over to the running back position. A lot of people asking about Tyler Algier versus the Cardinals at home. Would you start Tyler Algier or Kenneth Walker?
I feel like both of the other guys on this show would say Kenneth Walker. it's a tough situation going against the Jets defense. Kenneth Walker will be heavily involved. Tyler Algier is my pick. I think Algier it's crazy. Like Cam Akers, Tyler Algier, and Brian Robinson, those three names, they have to be in your lineup this week, in my opinion. I think that this week it doesn't matter what their name is. It matters what's going to happen on the field. And Tyler Algier is like a lock for 20 opportunities. Kenneth Walker hasn't been in the end zone in a while, and obviously if he gets in there and Algier doesn't, you're going to be, that one's neck and neck, and I don't blame anybody for going Kenneth Walker. Like if you want to go down with the guy that gave you those miraculous, spectacular weeks, that's fine. I think they're both good plays. Let's put it that way.
Okay. And I think it's funny you brought up those names because the next two questions involve two of those players. Tyler Algier or Cam Akers?
Well, that makes it unfair for me. If I say they all have to be in your lineup, but then you have to decide between them, I'm going to cry for a little while, maybe in the closet, but then I'm going to come out and I'm going to pop my shoulders back and I'm going to play Cam Akers.
Okay.
All right.
And then Brian Robinson or Ramondre Stevenson?
Yeah, I'm going to play Brian Robinson.
Okay.
I'm going to play Brian Robinson. He is a lock this week for 20-plus opportunities. Ramondre, I don't know what's going on. To be honest with you, I don't know when I can count on him and when I can't right now. I know he's been great all year. This week is a weird one with Damian Harris active. So, yeah, that's my call.
Okay. And then A.J. Dillon, do you have enough confidence in him to start him over Cam Akers?
I don't. Cam Akers is what I'll be remembered by this week, and that's not something that I really want on my resume. But I can't see him not getting a ton of opportunity. Been in the end zone 3 straight weeks, 6 touchdowns in 3 weeks. So that's the way I'm going to go, Al. That's the way I'm going to go.
All right. Let's hit a few tight end questions, then we'll get to the people.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Mark Andrews or Dallas Goedert?
Disgusting. Boy. It seems like what we keep coming back to with Mark Andrews is just keep playing him because you know what he's capable of. But it's been bad. It's been really bad. And I'm going to go with Goddard.
All right. And then Dawson Knox or Cole Kmet?
I think in that situation, I'll take the Monday night game with the high over-under. They're both good opportunities. Yeah, I'll go Dawson Knox. I got a good feeling about him this week.
All right, and then the last one at the tight end position, David Njoku or Taysom Hill?
Well, it's really hard right now to sit down what Taysom Hill's opportunities are. He could throw the football. He can get goal line opportunities. And so I think I lean Taysom Hill, but I think both are solid tight end plays this week. I'm trying to get Njoku into every lineup I can, but I think if I was staring those two down, I would lean the Taysom Hill side. These are brutal. Thank you for the brutal questions. Do we have any update on Jason's current prognosis? Did we get the situation figured out where we hook up the blood pressure monitor?
We're still working on the tech is almost there. I think we could have it by game time.
Okay. I bet we could guess it. I bet we can guess that blood pressure.
That's the tech.
I think he wanted to hear Christian Watson was playing today and just be locked in.
Yes,
it's going to be tilt time. Freaking out, all capitals, is Jason's situation.
He's
you
leaning
are not
towards
alone.
Dobbs currently.
Leaning towards Dobbs. What's crazy about the Dobbs decision, and this will apply to everybody, obviously, not just Jason, is that Watson, I think, will be active. Like this is – the Packers they've been conservative about injuries historically. So that's one piece of data point. However, everything's on the line for them. Their chance of survival is this week. And so I don't think they're going to, Aaron Jones, you got to suck some things up. Christian Watson's going to suck some things up. But does he play third down? Does he impact Dobbs? That's the problem. And I like Lazard more than Dobbs. So then it's like, I put Randall Cobb into a DFS lineup this morning. That's where we're at. And the Dortch, he's got every opportunity to be targeted. We just haven't seen David Blau. That's the only problem there. The nice thing is the Dortch is a short area guy, friend to a quarterback. So is James Conner, who I think will get a lot of work. It's tough. Let's get into the chat.
Stardom, sit 'em.
Into the chat we go, and it is a dangerous place. I got another think about it, please. Full PPR, Geno, Mike White, Daniel Jones. I'm taking Daniel Jones out of that passing game opportunity. It's not there for me. Geno getting Lockett back, that's a big deal. Tough matchup. I'll go Mike White. Go Mike White in that one. Jason has no. I wonder if Jason's in the chat somewhere.
He's got a direct line.
Yeah, I know. Think about it, please. Think. Make sure you think. Olave or Pacheco on a half-point PPR. Pacheco's much safer for like a floor. Olave coming off the injury. Philadelphia matchup. Look, I think Olave's going to have a lot of targets, but touchdown, that's going to side on the Pacheco side and a half-point PPR. It's been him and McKinnon. So for safety, Pacheco. For upside, no, I'm just going to say Pacheco. I think that's just going to be the answer. Hodgins or Bam Knight. I know Jason brought up some really good points about the opportunities Zonovan could have. I think the big thing about his bus game last week was that Zonovan Knight had the same snaps and opportunities. And so you didn't see that diminish with the bad game, and you don't – like Michael Carter's not the kind of player that can go out and like dominate the snaps. So that's the argument for Bam Knight. Hodgins is a PPR floor. You're going to have 5 receptions from Isaiah Hodgins. Is it going to be 25 yards or 62 yards? Is he going to get into the end zone? That's the question. So, Bam Knight in that matchup against Seattle, I don't mind you going that for upside over Hodgins. Both of them, it's a tough flex situation like the one Mr. Moore is facing. Dotson or Olave in a full PPR? I'm going to stay in the flames and away from the hamstring with Dotson there. It's a tough one. But anytime
Dotson. Dotson. We've got Dotson here.
Yeah, the yoo-hoo from the hamstring. If that happens in the second quarter, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Now everybody's saying, think about this. This is good. Jake, I really need help. Rashad White or Patterson, full PPR. My other running back is Lenny. I don't have any confidence in Patterson's workload right now. I'm fine playing Rashad White with Lenny in a full PPR and just soaking up the – do we have it here? Yeah. I mean, Rashad White he's the baby dump truck. I mean, he's there when you need him, when Fournette's not there. Think about this. Hamburger, hot dogs, hamburgers. Don't be silly. Happy New Year. Sask wants to know ETN or Devontae Smith in the flex, half point per reception, ETN. Jacksonville has reiterated they are benching and managing no reps today. They're playing their guys. Doug Peterson's come out again and said that. I would play ETN. Although Devontae Smith has been so good. Wide receivers are more inconsistent in general. Devontae Smith, of all players, has been that. Not recently, but in his career. So that's the way I lean. Both are must starts. Let's put it that way. Ramondre, Algier, or Akers, pick 2. I'm going to sit Ramondre of that group, and that's mind-blowing, but it's what I'm going to do. And Hollywood or Dortch? I don't know what David Blau is going to do. So both of those players are pretty equal in my mind. Hollywood's the more talented player, but the Dortch has been a PPR guy. So if you're in full PPR, I lean that way. If you're in half or full or standard, I would lean the Hollywood touchdown opportunity. But I'm trying to answer some extra questions, Al. I know we're over time here, and people will be getting to their televisions here soon. But I want to answer just a couple more. Jason wants to know Dortch or Dobbs. I would play Dortch over Dobbs. Too much low side for Dobbs is my fear there. So if Watson was declared out and you knew it, I'd play Dobbs over Dortch. That's the way I would go. Gabe Davis or Rashad White in a half PPR. That's tough. Rashad White saved his week last week with a touchdown. Gabe Davis, much more upside. Monday night, kind of a prolific game. I would go Gabe Davis in that situation. Both are startable. Deonta Foreman or A.J. Dillon, I would go Dillon. One more here. Matthew's in a tough situation. Standard league, Cordero or Latavius Murray. I would play Cordero and hope you get that Cordero touchdown. Now, Al, we haven't talked about your team. You got any tough start sits as we close this out for your championship week in Family League?
No, I think I'm in good shape.
You don't have Christian Watson decisions to be made?
I don't. I've been fortunate, and my team's awesome and healthy.
All right. Well, good luck to everybody out there. Happy New Year. Hopefully it gets off to a great start for you. And it's been a really fun year. Since this is our last Sunday live before the off season, I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us every week. Obviously, Mike has carried you through this season. I am just the kind of punching bag for the final week of the year. And so thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for listening to the show. Couple of things to mention here at the end of the stream. One, our podcast doesn't go away. We're 2 times a week after week 18. Next week we're here all 5 days because we're stupid and crazy. And we'll be here for the 4.9% of you playing in championship weeks. But we'll be reflecting on stuff. So join us. And then we'll be 2 days a week, a bonus show. If you support the show at jointhefoot.com, please come over and support us. The community, it's actually really, really fun during the off season or the preseason for 2023. As we reflect, we look to the future, we talk dynasty, we talk nonsense. It's going to be a ton of fun. So thank you for joining us each and every week. Good luck in your championship game. Farewell, friends. Goodbye and good luck. I love each and every one of you. Even Al. Even Jay Grizz.
I love you too.
All right. Take care.